I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Here I am. Did you go to sleep? I'm sorry I had to go. Here I am. You're seeing a quilt that was made for me by my friend. Hello, number 4. Come on in. Um, my friend and I'm back. I thought, oh, Lord. Come on back, kids. There was a glitch. Because I got to get for a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and get that video up for tomorrow. This is a quilt that my friend, she was in 6th grade, I was in 5th. We were friends our whole life. She passed away. Well, she made this quilt for me for my 50th birthday. My kids had a 50th birthday surprise party for me and flew in my sister from Florida, and my friend Levon that passed away made this quilt for me, and it's with all the colors that I love, the greens and the purples. Isn't that pretty, Aunt She? She was a phenomenal sewer, and she made my youngest daughter's flower girl dress for my daughter Tanya for her wedding. She made wedding dresses. I'm not a seamstress like that, not by a long shot. I'm a sewer for crafts, but not a seamstress. Hi, Scooter. How are you? Thank you for coming by. See this quilt, Scooter? My friend from 5th grade, I'm going to say 5th because she was in 6th, but we were friends all through our lives before she passed. And she made this for me for my 50th birthday. So it takes up a big part of my wall in my craft room. But I cannot show you the rest of my craft room right now. I'm trying to get this 3-piece set from IKEA because it's very inexpensive. But the thing is, the shipping is nuts, and they have two pieces of it, but they don't have the third. And I don't want to get any of it until I can get all of it together. But it's very inexpensive. Isn't that beautiful, Cornelia? Yeah, it's very, very pretty. Every time I look at it, I think of her. And you see those threads? Let me show you. Seeing that apothecary, that big apothecary jar, those are all threads. Hi, Gloria. And let me, I can't see from, oh, well, I can't tell because it won't do it like it will if I'm on somebody else's live. And then right over there is my sewing machine. But I got to go get that serviced because it's not working right. Right there, see that? Right there's my sewing machine. It's actually a sewing and embroidery machine. You see that little angel there? She's a sewing angel. Gloria, what's new? I'm showing a quilt that one of my friends that has passed since made me. Isn't that beautiful, Gloria? Oh, she was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I could never do that in a million years because I'm not good at, um, with these kind of quilts, you have to be very precise in your cutting and sewing. Unfortunately, that's not me. I do good with rag quilts because they're very forgiving. They're cute. I mean, adorable quilts. And that's my speed when it comes to quilts. And you know what's weird? Speaking of Levon, which did this quilt, she had gone to the doctor and kept telling her that, she didn't feel good. And she drank a lot of diet, what did she drink? I think she drank a lot of Diet Pepsi, if I'm not mistaken. Well, anyway, the doctor kept telling her, you got to quit drinking so many. And I mean, when I tell you she drank a lot, she drank a lot of, I can't, and you know what? I can't remember if it was Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke. It was one or the other. Anyway. But anyway, she went to the doctor this one particular day and she said, I'm not feeling good. And the doctor said, well, I told you before about drinking, the diet soda as much as you drink it. And they were going to make an appointment for her to come in. Well, she went home that night and she was doing she was always crafting. She was always crafting. If it wasn't sewing, it was scrapbook. If it wasn't scrapbooking, it was toll painting. If it wasn't toll painting, I mean, she did the gamut of crafting. And so she said to her husband, she said, I got to go to the hospital. She goes, something's not right. They got to the hospital. She finally got in to a room, and that was it. That was it. She passed away. She had a massive heart attack. I knew her since I was in 5th and she was in 6th grade. And when you lose people like that you have basically lived your whole life, because we were always in contact, it's a real shocker. But she was very, very talented. And I am proud to keep this quilt up in honor of her. Yeah, she passed away. I'm reading. You're still working on your bunnies, Gloria? Gloria, I got one done tonight that when I get off here, I'm going to go ahead and edit and put up for my channel tomorrow. But I still have like 3 or 4 more that I want to get done for Easter. Because guys, it's not going to be, I mean, now I'm talking for people that do DIYs in the realm I'm in. Before you know it, it's going to be Christmas in July. Because you figure, okay, we're going to get Easter. And then after Easter, 4th of July. What's that 4th of July? Halloween. After Halloween is fall and then Christmas. So when you're a crafter, I mean, and doing a channel, it's like, oh my gosh, I mean, all this stuff is coming up. I feel like a retail store. You know what I mean? You used to do quilts, Jackie? I just don't, I'm not good at measuring and sewing and being very precise. I'm not. And I readily admit that. I wished I was, but I'm not. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, she was a very good friend. She, when Jeremy, any of you that know my son Jeremy, where I've done the cooking videos, remember when we were at his house and we did that? Um, well, I don't even know if it wasn't really a Q&A. It was just where we were all together. She was at the hospital when he was born. So yeah, we go way back. Mary Tackett, you want to know what I had? You want to know what I had for dinner? Actually, it was a pretty good dinner. Um, I had a T-bone steak, a green salad with blue cheese, and what was the other thing I had? Steak, salad. Well, what was the other thing I had? Wait a minute. Oh, a baked potato. That's what I had as a baked potato, I had to think. I love Easter too, Mike. I can't wait to see those bunnies, Gloria. They must be quite the statement. Right now, I'm looking at, I already told you about the topiary. I'm going to show you tomorrow. Um, but with my uh, candy molds that you would normally do for chocolate, I'm not making chocolate, and I would never, now that I've used these molds for that, you don't ever want to put food in them. But out of clay, I'm making, you know, those panorama eggs, you know, the ones that you used to get the sugar eggs, that where you would look through the little hole of the egg and you'd see a little picture, if you will. Well, this is a little bit different than putting a hole at the edge of it. You'll see when I put it up. Anyway, I'm doing those, so I'll be working on those tomorrow. And then I have a couple more DIYs, and I got to do a couple cakes for Easter. I'm going to be doing those as well. Okay, Robin. Oh, you're having I'm going to have my echo stress test. Okay, Robin, you get a good night's sleep. Good night, Robin. My husband and I worked so hard this weekend. We took all the hibiscus from the front and replanted in the back, then planted the rose bushes. Cool. So you're liking your new house, huh, Gloria? That's great. I can't wait to see those bunnies, Gloria, because they're sounding like they're quite huge. My one daughter-in-law just got to Chicago. She's got to be there for a week for business. And they're right in the midst of moving, so I know that's very stressful for her. Oh, yeah. It'll be your own before you know it, Gloria. How long have you been there now? Oh, Jackie, good. See, Gloria, she just got your channel. How you been doing, Jackie? Gloria, I don't know. Well, I don't think you know. Gloria's husband just passed away just recently, very unexpected. So she's been going through a hard time. She's a real sweetheart. She's a real prayer warrior. So she'll be praying for you. So, Mike, you have work tomorrow morning? You're probably ready to go to sleep. Oh, that's what I was thinking too, Gloria. I am so thankful. Well, I don't know why, but it just seems to me that Easter should be in April. I don't like when it's in March. I don't. Well, I mean, you know, forgive me for anyone that has something special in March, but I hate it. Um, but especially when they put Easter in March. But you know what I don't understand about that now that I'm saying that? What constitutes putting Easter in March or April? How can they switch it around like that? I don't get it. I really don't understand how they can do that, to be honest. Yeah, Jackie, that is such a short time from where we are now. I mean, February 27th, that is nothing. I mean, you know what? I give you props because you are really trying to do what you need to do to go on. And I commend you for that. I really do. Your birthday's April 16th, Gloria? My son's is April 11th. Okay, you go to sleep, Mike, and you have a good night, okay? And you have a good week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Did you anyone have a good weekend? Did you do anything fun? I went to Dacia's yesterday and she made spaghetti. And then Dacia, Everly, and myself, we did a little craft. So we had fun doing that because Everly loves crafting. So that was fun. And then she rehearsed her parts for her school play for me. Really, Susan? Your daughter's April 11th? Oh, for corn's sake. I love it. I get along with people born in April really well. My son always makes me laugh. He really, he always does make me laugh. Oh, you had your husband's funeral on the 11th? Oh, Jackie. You were born on Easter, Gloria? How come they switched Easter around? I mean, what I'm getting at is Christmas is always the 25th of December, okay? Why doesn't Easter always fall on the same date? Why do they switch it around? I don't get it. It's kind of weird. So what are you guys working on? Not right now. Of course, you're probably going ready. You're ready to sleep. You're thinking, Daveda, can I go to sleep now? But have you been working on anything? I know Gloria is the bunnies. I'm going to be putting up my video and then working on another. I like to get at least 3 videos under my belt. So if something comes up, I always know I have those that I can post, you know? Is that what it is, Gloria, do you think? Oh, okay, Jackie. Yeah, because I've always wondered about that. I thought, okay, Christmas is always the 25th of December. How come Easter isn't a certain time? Oh, Jackie, I know. I really do. I do need to take a video of it. She is a trip. She really is. She's got such an old soul. Hi, Rachel Rose. And then next week, I think I'm picking Everly up from school because Daisha and Andrew, I think, are going to go to a matinee and see a comedy. And London will still be at school. And I'm going to make with Everly. You remember? Okay. Remember the dolls that you would make from yarn? And sometimes you would make the head out of the yarn, but sometimes you could put a styrofoam ball for the head, and all of it was yarn. The arms were yarn, and then the dress was from yarn, and sometimes people would make like legs and arms from the yarn. Do you remember that? Does anyone remember what I'm talking about? I got some yarn, and I'm going to do that with Everly when she's here, when I pick her up from school when they're at the movies. I went to my son's soccer game with my oldest two grandchildren tonight after being at their house this afternoon. Oh, how cool, Rachel. That must have been fun. Well, we did art. She was the teacher, okay? Rachel, she was the teacher. And so she was teaching us how to draw a bunny on the hill with a sunset behind and an Easter basket next to it. So all of us followed her lead in drawing this picture. And then I took pictures of it. I'll put it in my story on Facebook and Instagram. It was adorable. So all three of us are sitting there drawing our bunnies. Yeah, Jackie, you remember which ones I'm talking about? That's what I'm doing with her. Yes, yes. The arms and legs were braided. Yes, Susan, that's the one. It was fun, Rachel. And it was so cute the way. Okay, first of all, Daisha really is very good at drawing, okay? Me, no way. And Everly's pretty good. So Everly is so sweet, And so she's saying, okay, Grandma, this is what you do. And she's showing me. And then I said, okay, now, does this look okay? And I'm looking at her face, and I can see in her face she's thinking, well, I don't, yeah, well, okay. And she goes, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. And I'm thinking, oh, God love you. It really isn't, but you know what I mean? She was so sweet about it. So, but we had so much fun, and we just sat at the table and were laughing and coloring our pictures that we drew. It was so much fun, and it was a memory that I'm all about memories. I'm all about doing things where nothing can be taken from you. You can always remember that memory, or taking pictures. I am huge when it comes to where they're not planned pictures, just off the cuff. To me, those pictures mean more because you're capturing what everyone is doing at the time, and they're not looking at you thinking you're taking a picture of them. They're very candid, you know? Those are the kind of photos that I would much rather take. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, I always like taking pictures of my kids together and all of us. I do like that. But I also just as much like pictures that are very candid. So when you look back in time, you can remember, when you look at that picture, you can remember what was going on. So I did get a few of those as well. My kids always used to say that I was like a tourist in my own home, meaning when they would come over, it was always about taking pictures, and they never quite got it. And then when Tanya died, I said, now do you kind of see where I was coming from? Because it's those pictures and those things that you capture that you're never going to get back. But then you can go back and think about the time that you were together when those pictures were taken. And it gives you a lifetime of always remembering and having those memories, you know? I'm just reading real quick. Okay, so it has to do with the Jewish lunar calendar. It must be the Sunday after Passover. So does that mean the Passover always changes too? That it must. Yes, Lori, can I ask you a question? You were saying about your grandson that he has autism. At what age? At what age was he diagnosed? Oh yeah, no, I'm not uncomfortable at all. Lori, he was, if I remember correctly, he was almost 3 years old because he wasn't talking at all, and he was stimming and not sleeping. And I remember my daughter taking him to the doctor, and from there, then they had other people. They went to a place where, like an ABA, where they come into your house and all that. Fast forward to now, he's going to be 10, and he's made wonderful strides, wonderful. But he is going to always be on the spectrum, always be on the spectrum. And it's been a roller coaster. I mean, it's been highs and lows. But, we're getting more and more to where we're trying to understand, which it's very complex because it is such a broad spectrum and everyone is different. And for one, it might be different. Like for instance, when people talk about especially children with autism, a lot of times they'll say that they are very much to where they don't want to be hugged. They don't want people getting close to them. London's just the opposite. I mean, he is the biggest hugger that you'll ever meet. And so that does not pertain to him. Yes, does he show the typical signs of autism? He does. He shows the stemming. He shows where he gets locked into, like he has such a fascination with cars. It's crazy. I mean, he can tell you everything about a car that you want to know and what you don't want to know. But he's also very funny. And I don't know. I don't know how to describe. I don't know how to describe London. He is hilarious. And then there are times that is just hellish, just awful when he has meltdowns, and they do come. Believe me, they do. But Daisha, like I said, she's documented everything ever since he's been tiny. She knew something wasn't right after he was born. And all that to say, even in the womb, he never moved. He stayed in one position the whole time, because through the ultrasounds, it showed him right up where he was. You know how kids usually kind of move around and they turn around and all that? No, he didn't. He stayed right where he was and he didn't move. And then you have Everly, and she's very neurotypical, typical kid. And so Daisha and Andrew, the dad, her husband, they have to wear many hats, because when you're dealing with one that's neurotypical and you're dealing with another one that is autistic, I mean, it has its own set of, things you got to deal with. But they do it very well. I'm just looking back, guys. You do a lot with your grandkids, Gloria. My granddaughter will be 3 in July. They have an appointment in April. She only says 2 words. She does not stop. She does not stop. Wait a minute. She does not stop. She only says 2 words. She's very bright. I have watched some of her videos. Oh, Rachel, you've watched some of Beverly's videos? Yes. And it's, it's a struggle for a sibling that is neurotypical, and they don't, Everly, Daisha has always been very, very upfront with Everly of what's going on, and that Austin, I'm thinking of my other grandson, hello. London is on the spectrum. And Everly, at her young age, does get it. And she's almost like the older sister, if you can believe it. She's the one that will, if he's starting to have a meltdown or getting too ramped up, she'll say, okay, London, because I've watched her. She'll say, okay, London, we need to breathe. Let's breathe. Come on. Come on. And it's amazing to watch this little girl do this. And how he responds to her. It's really heartwarming. So has your granddaughter been diagnosed yet, Lori? Or something's not right? I know it. And at first, me being a grandmother, and I wasn't there all the time because they had moved up to Visalia. So they were like a 3.5-hour drive from me. So I didn't see it all the time. But when I would go up there, she said, Mom, I know something's not right. I can feel it. Well, she was right, and it was, it was very devastating. And anyone that follows me on Facebook, I post pictures. He's a beautiful child. Beautiful, gorgeous child. And I pray all the time that God will do something to help him be able to live a productive life and, just have a life. And I know Daisha wants that too. And that's probably the biggest thing with a parent of a child that's on the spectrum. They want that child to be able to live, as normal of a life as they possibly can. London is going to be 10, July 4th. He's a 4th of July baby, Jackie. Lori, sorry, should have said she just runs all day, bangs her head on the floor. Yeah. If she doesn't get what she wants, they have an appointment in April. Okay, good. I'm glad they have an appointment. Hi, Kathy from Texas. How are you? Yes, Kathy. We do have that doctor's meeting, but usually a parent innately knows something isn't right. You know what I mean? And there's all, I mean, there's a gamut of being on the spectrum. And that's what's so weird about the whole thing because you can't just say, okay, they have this sign, this, whatever. No, they're all different. All of them are different. That's what's so complex about the whole thing. Like London, he didn't, like I said, he didn't talk until he was almost 3. And I remember Daisha one day, we were talking and she started to cry and she said, Mom, all I want to hear is mom or mama. That's all I want to hear. Because he didn't say anything. Now he understood everything you were saying to him, but he didn't say a word. And then one day, all of a sudden, he started to say words. Well, now, I mean, he will he will talk a blue streak if he feels like it. If he feels like it. If he doesn't, you can talk until you're blue in the face and you're not going to get anything else out of him. I mean, it's such a weird dynamic of just the complexity of every individual that goes through this situation, be it the parent, the grandparent, the teacher, whatever. It is just a really, really humbling experience to watch. Hi, Frida. Does anyone know how Muppets is doing? How's she hanging in there? Oh my gosh, you guys. Do you know what I've been watching? When I was doing my video today, a lot of it I'm just going to put to music or I'll do a voiceover. And I'll do that if I want to watch something. Because, first of all, I don't expect you guys to watch every tiny little process that I do. So, what I'll do is if I'm watching something, I'll just put it on to music or whatever. Okay. So, do you know what show I am loving? And it's a series. Well, first of all, I'm a huge Sam Elliott fan. Huge. Ever since he was on that motorcycle with Cher and Mask, that was it for me. Well, he's in this particular series that I'm watching. And the name of the series is, okay, I know it's 18, but now I can't, I'm second guessing myself because I have nothing to look at to tell you for sure. I think it's 1863, but it might not be 63. But I know it's 18, but I don't know the other 2 digits. Anyway, oh my gosh, you guys. So good. If any of you like Yellowstone, this is the precursor to Yellowstone. This shows you how Yellowstone came to be. Such a good series. I highly recommend it if you like Yellowstone. Okay, Laura, you have MED, and I can say there's very normal. When I was teaching and I didn't have classes, I worked at our learning resource center. Every kid was so different. We only had one really severe kid. Right. And that's the truth. I mean, the spectrum is extremely vast. There's certain things that they have a similarity to, but then so many other things that are so individual to each child on the spectrum. That's what makes it so complex. It's not a cookie cutter at all. Am I at a black screen again? Oh, for corn's sake. Okay, tell me who's all seen a black screen. You guys, what the heck is happening here? Okay, wait. Yes, I watched 3 episodes. Then they moved to channel. Okay, so it's 1862 or 63. Okay, I don't know what's going on, you guys. Because my screen right now, I'm still seeing everything. That bugs me. I'm trying to think. Did I try to make my screen bigger for anything? You know what? I think I did. I think I did. I think when I try to make the screen bigger on my end, for whatever reason, makes it turn black. That is bugging me. I don't like that because I'm thinking if I ever wanted to do any kind of a tutorial, I wouldn't know if that screen was black, and that is not good if you're doing a tutorial. I mean, chatting is one thing. You can chat in the dark or whatever. But when you're trying to do a tutorial, that's another thing completely. Ugh, so frustrating. It's on Paramount Plus. Are you talking about 1862 or 63? Whatever it is. It's on Paramount Plus. Yeah, well, they say that London is high functioning, but he does have the real bad meltdowns also. And you never know when it's going to happen. You never know. You don't know what's going to bring it on. And that's the real sad part of the whole situation because you don't know. I mean, it feels a little warm, Gloria, but it's not hot. Okay, so he's been diagnosed with ADD, Jackie. Mike's laughing at me. Mike, you were supposed to be sleeping, not laughing. Oh, Mike. Mike, he's so funny. So, Jackie, your son, was he ever diagnosed to be in the spectrum at all? Or is that something that you're just thinking? I know, Lori, it's awful. I hate it because right now I'm looking at the quilt. Had no one told me, I would not even know that you guys were seeing a black screen. I would have no clue. Mike, have you watched 1862 or 63, whatever it is? You guys, it is so good. So good. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just going back real quick. Gloria. Here we go, Daveda. Black screen. Okie dokie. I'm a loser. It just doesn't make sense why it keeps doing this. I mean, I should be able to make my screen bigger to show you something and it not turn black. Okay, wait, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make my screen littler. I'm going to do that right now. Wait. I want to see if anything changes. Did anything change? Nothing changed. Okay, so I am a loser. I'm just a loser with a black screen. That's it. From now on, live with Daveda Lane on a black screen. You love that guy, but he's very different. How old is he, Jackie? Frida, my niece's son is on the spectrum. He's been such a blessing. Well, you know what? And that's London, Frida. I mean, God bless his heart. I mean, yes, he has his meltdowns. Yes, he can be a pill. But on the same token, he is such a sweetheart and he can be so loving. When I I went over yesterday and he goes, "I am so glad to see you. Come on in. You are so welcome here." I said, "Well, thank you, London. I'm glad I am." And then he'll say to me, "Am I going to come over to your house again?" I go, "Yeah, you always do." Because he loves to ride his scooter in the backyard, because at the school he goes to a special school, and I can't remember the name of them, but they were guys that did tricks on scooters and motorbikes, you know what I mean, where they went like, you know how they do, where they do flips and all that. Well, anyway, that really stuck in London's head. And so he got the scooter, I believe it was for Christmas. So he comes because my daughter, they don't have a backyard to speak of. So they come over here. And so London will set all of the chairs up in the backyard. And then he'll tell us, okay, how does he say it? You need to, I think he says, you need to cheer on me. Instead of cheer for me, he'll say, you need to cheer on me. And then he'll give us the script, what we're supposed to say. So we say what he says, and then on his scooter, he'll come by and he'll wink at all of us. Oh, it just cracks me up. But he's loving when he's able to do that. I mean, you could just see how he just loves, going on that scooter. It's so sweet. Hi, Amy's Justice Lake. How are you? Yeah, I'll blame the aliens, Gloria. How are you doing, Amy? He'll be 35 in June. Oh, God bless him. Well, love you too, Mike. Does he live with you, Jackie? Kathy from Texas, I sincerely believe that these children and adults change others' lives in ways they are not measurable in terms of acceptance and empathy. These families are changed forever. You're absolutely right, Kathy from Texas. You're absolutely right. That's right, Mike. Amy, Justice League is in the house. Oh, he works for your daughter. Okay, Jackie. Cool. Yeah, that's London. I mean, he'll come up and he'll hug me and he goes, I love you so much. I go, well, I love you too, London. He gets so, he just makes me laugh. I mean, he really does make me laugh. He is so funny. Hi, Leslie Romani. How are you? How you doing, hon? I was just coming on for a few minutes. Oh, of course, I always say a few minutes. Yeah, it always ends up being an hour or two. And then we just talk to a black screen. Of course we do. Irritates the heck out of me. I don't know what's going on. It's not like this is an old phone you got. Well, okay. I've had this phone for a year, maybe year and a half. But I mean, it has to be something that I'm doing with this that is making it turn where you can't see anything. And I just have to believe that it's every time I try to zoom in more by the screen. You know how the screen, how you'll move it with your fingers to make it go closer? Every time this has happened, that's what I've done. So that's the only thing I can think of that's made it do that. Oh, Amy, I was talking about my grandson that has autism. That's right, Gloria. It would be a desert without children. What's everybody doing for the week coming up? Oh, you guys, just keep me in your prayers, would you? Because I don't know what's going on, but there's something going on with my body. And I don't know quite what it is, but it's gotten to the point now where I'm thinking I got to go to the doctor because I am not one to go to the doctor for everything. Believe me. I will wait it out forever. And now it's to the point where I'm thinking, maybe I better go to the doctor. But then I'm thinking, oh, do I really want to go to the doctor? God, I'm so bad. But just keep my health in your prayers if you don't mind. I'd appreciate it. Yes, we do need to change it for a purple screen. You've got 3 doctor's appointments tomorrow, Jackie, too? Yeah, I appreciate it, you guys. You guys are the best. Sure wish I could get this screen back to the original. Sometimes I don't know about technology. I mean, I'm okay with, well, I'm okay getting my videos out, okay? I'm not great, but I can get the bare minimum. But I'd like to know a lot more than what I know. But I'm just not tech savvy. I'm not. And I wished I was more than I am. I do watch a lot of YouTube, on that kind of stuff. My favorite is that kind of stuff and animals. Love watching that. Love it. And especially before I go to bed at night, especially the animals, because it puts me, in a good mood or where I'm laughing because of the certain things that they do. Just going back real quick to read. Change that screen. Praying. Yeah, me too, Jackie. I hope everything's okay. Thanks, Leslie. Yeah, I guess I'm craft savvy. Yeah, I like to have at least 3 videos under my belt for my channel. Well, you know what? I made one with my salad that I made. I'm gonna post that. I'll probably, well, no, I'm not gonna post that tomorrow because I already put on my Instagram. I was gonna put this. Shoot. Well, okay, so I'm gonna put this one out tomorrow. And for you that are here, what it was, okay, it was a topiary, okay, and it had these really butt ugly painted eggs on it, and it was nothing to write home about, if you get my drift. And so I kept looking at it, and this is the truth. I kept looking at it going, you know what, Davida, just throw it away. Just throw it away. It's ugly, throw it away. Well, something kept making me keep it. So year after year after year after year after year, I'd always have this battle in my head. Throw it away. I didn't. Throw it away. Didn't. So this year I thought, you know what? I think I could do something with that. Just something, a light bulb went out off in my head, and I thought, oh, I can do that. You guys, I love it. I love it. It turned out so good. I couldn't believe it's one of my favorite revamping, and I didn't have to spend a penny on revamping it, and it looks entirely different. So that's the one that I'm going to put out when I get off here. It's not going to be hard for me, because it's pretty short. I try not to do real long videos when I'm doing a DIY. I try to get just to the point. It just depends on the creator. Some like to do real lengthy ones, and that's cool, whatever. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So, with all that said, I guess I'll go. I've kept you long enough. But I do thank you for coming on with me. And I'm going to go and get this video edited so I can get it up for tomorrow. And maybe I'll do another live and hope for no black screen. Because sometimes we don't have a black screen, and I need to learn not to try to make the screen bigger on my telephone, because I do think that's what does it. I really do. I think that's because I kept trying, I was racking my brain trying to figure this out. I think that's what it is. I do. So with that being said, remember the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. There's only one you, and you bring something to this world nobody else can. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.